Konami's localization team certainly is an odd department, with translations to the controversial yet funny for higher archetype, the technically incorrect but rather punny totally awesome. As the actual pun wouldn't translate well into English, however, this one's fairly understandable if I'm going to be honest. The hilarious Brooklynization of Joey's cards, such as Alligator Sword and Little D, to the blatantly incorrect and lazy Mech Knight Abram.
Check this out.
But then there came along one archetype, one that would have been completely ruined should they have changed anything at all. But surprisingly and thankfully, they did not. And now as a result, we have quite the menu and a whole lot of text to go over. Welcome everyone to the first of the thoroughly subjective guides, the Gunkan Suship archetype. To first explain Suship, we gotta understand the timeline of the Suship archetype, as its playstyle actually changed a lot from when it first came out. First released in 2021 in Dawn of Majesty, Suship is currently an Xyz-focused archetype focused primarily on OTK, themed around the practice of creating sushi and serving it to your opponent. We'll be touching on all the cards in the archetype in this video, and hopefully by the end you'll understand the ins and the outs of the individual Suship cards, as well as appreciate the rather absurd faithfulness to the theme that this archetype actually presents. The first wave of the archetype, as mentioned earlier, first came out in Dawn of Majesty and was actually played mostly as a control deck, due to the destruction effect at their first Xyz monster and the recursion that their field spell and trap card gave them. Let's begin with the most important card in the deck, and the special ingredient that the entire archetype, as well as their various synergies, revolve around. Gunkan Suship Shari is a level 4 Fire Aqua Vanilla monster with 2000 attack and 0 defense, as well as a flavor text that honestly belongs on a Yelp review. Finally got to visit that harbor specializing in Gunkan Suships that I've been curious about for a while. The premium Shari here is limited to 2,000 Suships a year, and uses specially developed smooth aged rice, giving it extra boldness not found anywhere else. The classy atmosphere made my heart sing too. The Gunkan Suship served had a perfect balance of vinegar, nigiri, shine, and shape, demonstrating exquisite artisanship. The owner told me, "We are introducing rich yet mellow-scented Edo Front red vinegar in the near future, which I am really looking forward to." However, I was disappointed that the surrounding seas were a little noisy, so giving it 4 stars with hope for improvements in the future. Shari, besides being the all-important foundation of the deck, has a perfect type, attribute, stats, and level for several synergies with various cards and archetypes that can be played along with the Suship cards, be it for consistency, originality, competitiveness, or fun. The next card in the first wave is the Gunkan Suship Ikura. Ikura has the following effects. While you control Shari once per turn, you can special summon Ikura without starting a chain. Its other effect allows you to activate the top 3 cards of your deck, take 1 revealed Shari, and either special summon it or add it to your hand. Shuffle the rest of the cards revealed back into your deck. Paired with Shari, these 2 cards combine to make the Gunkan Suship Ikura class Dreadnought. The first of the Suship Xyz monsters, they all share a common theme of getting additional effects on summon depending on whether or not they were made with the correct ingredients, on top of an additional effect independent of what they were made with. For each of them, making them with Shari allows you to draw a card, as well as getting an additional effect depending on the other piece. For Ikura Dreadnought, if made with Ikura Dreadnought can attack twice per turn, setting the tone for the archetype's theme and playstyle going forward. Its additional effect allows it to target a card your opponent controls and destroy it when a Suship monster special summoned from the extra deck inflicts battle damage to your opponent. This effect can only be used once per individual copy of Ikura Dreadnought. The first wave of Suship monsters are accompanied by 1 field spell and 1 trap. The field spell, Gunkan's Suship Yard Seaside Supper Spot, shows the secondary theme of the Suship archetype, reading. Once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Suship monster, even during the damage step, you can stack a Suship card to the top of your deck. This effect is pretty useful, allowing to set up your deck for future draws off your Xyz summons, but the real meat of the effect is what comes next. If your opponent sends your extra deck Suship monsters to the graveyard in any way at all, they must pay life points equal to the defense of the monster. Then you can special summon 1 Shari from your hand and Xyz summon a Suship Xyz monster using only that Shari as a material. Let me repeat one part real quick. Your opponent pays for the sushi. They pay the bill. Yes, this archetype makes your opponent pay for eating your Suship. You also have the trap, Gunkan Suship Daily Special. What this card does is you reveal any 3 Suship monsters from your deck. You have your opponent choose one, or if you already have the rice in your hand, you get to choose instead. Yep, your opponent can order your daily specials that you have to offer, or if you already are prepared with the rice in hand, you get to make them whatever you want. You get to serve your opponent sushi. Don't worry, it gets even better later though. It has an additional effect to target 3 Suship monsters in your graveyard to shuffle back into your deck and draw a card. You have to restock on your ingredients now. 2 months later, Suship would gain 4 new cards in Burst of Destiny, granting them 2 new main deck monsters and their 2 respective extra deck counterparts, greatly expanding the menu available at your deck's sushi restaurant. First up is Gunkan Suship Shirawo, which has the following effects. It can activate the special summon itself if you control Shari on the field, or an Xyz monster has Shari as material. This will come up later in a rather frustrating way. Its second effect allows you to special summon a Suship monster from your hand besides itself. Then you can stack as many Sharis from your deck or graveyard to the top of your deck, however you want. Shirawo is essentially your best normal summon, getting you 2 bodies on the field to use for Xyz plays, recycling your Sharis, and on top of that, setting up the top of your deck for the draws of your Xyz monsters. This gets further compounded with Shirawo's Xyz upgrade, the Gunkan Suship Shirawo class Carrier. When made correctly with Shari and Shirawo, Carrier first draws you a card, then allows for you to add a Suship spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Its additional effect allows your extra deck Suship monsters to not be destroyed from your opponent's destruction effects, as long as there's a face-up field spell in either player's field zone. It also boosts their attack by their defense. The final cards Suship would get for some time are Gunkan Suship Uni and its Xyz upgrade, the Gunkan Suship Uni class Super Dreadnought. Uni, unlike the rest of the previous Suship monsters, is a level 5 monster, but has an effect to special summon itself by revealing a different Suship card in your hand. Depending on what you revealed, you can do one of 2 things. If you revealed Shari, you can choose to special summon it to your field, but if you revealed anything else, you must shuffle it back into your deck. On the field, Uni can change the level of a Suship monster from 4 to 5, or if targeting self, 5 to 4. If successful, you could choose to add a Shari to your hand. Its Xyz upgrade, the Gunkan Suship Uni class Super Dreadnought, on top of having the draw effect if made with Shari, can also attack directly if made with Uni. When comboed with Akura, it guarantees at least 1 pop, and can translate into a free Divine Arsenal Zeus in a pinch. Additionally, during your main phase, or your opponent's battle phase, you could target face-up cards equal to the number of Suship monsters that you summoned from the extra deck, and negate their effects. Keep in mind that this negation is a permanent negation as long as the targeted cards remain face-up on the field, and they will remain negated even if Uni Dreadnought leaves the field. Suships wouldn't get further support until 2022, in Power of the Elements. Getting only 1 card, this card does everything the archetype needed, and also creates some rather interesting interactions with certain cards. Gunkan Suship Shari Red is a level 4 Fire Aqua with an interesting effect. Its name becomes Gunkan Suship Shari while in your hand, deck, or graveyard, or face up on the field. Yeah, this card can replace Shari for any effect that requires Shari or its name, barring 1 effect. For some reason, Shari Red does not count as Shari while it's Xyz material, causing Shirawo to not be able to special summon itself if you control an Xyz made with Shari Red. However, keep in mind, when Xyz summoning a Suship Xyz monster, you will still get the draw effect, as Shari Red is being treated as Shari during the Xyz summon. It has another effect. By revealing itself in a second Shari or Shari Red, you can special summon itself to the field. Then you can summon any non-Shari Suship monster from your deck, and then you immediately Xyz summon the upgraded version of the special summon Suship using the Shari Red and the special summon Suship. Yes, this is all 1 effect. Yes, this card does basically everything a Suship player can ever dream of. Except some. Suships would get their current final card of support in Cyberstorm Access, the absolutely hilarious, bizarrely on theme, Gunkan Suship Catch of the Day. By placing a counter on the card and revealing 1 Shari in your hand, or Shari Red, then revealing a Suship Xyz monster from your extra deck, your opponent must name 1 Suship monster named on a Suship Xyz monster that is not Shari or Shari Red to add to your hand. Once again, the designers outdid themselves with the effects staying on theme. You see, when you go to a restaurant and don't know what to get, you often ask your waiter or the chef for a recommendation, which is just so happens to be how this card functions. You recommend a dish to your opponent can either take your recommendation or they can order something else entirely. It just so happens that the waiter didn't give them a menu and now they gotta figure out how to read your horrible penmanship within a reasonable time. 5 stars, best service in town. And it has an additional effect as well. If this card on your field is destroyed by your opponent, they must pay life points equal to the number of counters on this card times 500. Yeah, you're making them pay a fine for messing up your restaurant. It is actually incredible how the designers were able to translate such a restaurant experience onto the cards, which is why I personally love this archetype so much. It's not often that Konami does something that deserves a thumbs up, but this is like a rare case for sure. Now if only they'd make us some more support. Suship is one of those unfortunate archetypes that are a little too balanced, with every combo requiring at least 2 cards and an odd overbalancing of most of their effects. The deck by itself isn't that great. However, by itself it does often end up with a decently powerful board with just the Suship cards alone that doesn't always eat up your normal summon. Not to mention their main boss monster, Uni Dreadnought, protects their end board from evenly matched and any other battle phase effects. Playing are just a few of the basic combos, which can vary wildly depending on your opening hand. In particular, the Uni Shari combo works better with additional splashed engines, as you often end up with additional bodies that you can't go into an optimal Suship with. Here's an example combo featuring the Xyz armor package and the Primate archetype. And here's the deck list used for that combo. Aside from the Xyz armor and Primate archetypes, other archetypes that synergize well with Suship include but aren't limited to Magiki, Goblin Biker, and Ryziel. Mix and match to find what feels best for you. Oh cool, new Suship support. I wonder what it does. Well, that's that for the first video I've ever made. If you found it entertaining and want to see what else I've been cooking, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because I've got a whole lot more things planned. If you want to support me further, I made a Patreon. You'll get early access to videos, access to behind the scenes updates, be able to vote on polls on what content you'd like to see, and get your name displayed at the end of the video. As well as a special role in the Discord, which is still a work in progress. Again, thank you to everyone for your support, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Peace out.